What's up, everybody? You are tuned into The Output. With me, your host, DJ Unprotected. I would like to invite you in on the conversation and hit me up on Twitter at DJ Unprotected. I know there's going to be things throughout these episodes that you are going to want to chime in, especially some of the topics that we had last week. I know you've got some things to say about. So, again, just hit me up, toss any ideas that you got for the segments for our guests. You know how we roll. We're no holds bars up in here. I don't like to edit, so people are going to say what they want, and we really enjoy it. That's why we call it The Output. So again, hit me up on Twitter at DJ Unprotected. Now, in this episode, I am excited to say that we have another guest DJ in the house. It's always exciting for me to share the conversation with the DJ, and especially this one who's coming from Chicago, which house music, the focal point of what we probably listen to a lot nowadays. Anyway, so let me not waste any more time. I came across this guy on social media, and I think that we have a lot in common. So it's gonna be exciting. So let me introduce DJ Mike Frank to the show. What's up, man?
Hey man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming through. This is definitely pretty awesome. You in your studio?
Oh yeah, just where I mix back here. So
Is that a drum set?
yeah, I play the drums, but not recently. Right now, just working on DJing.
Okay, cool, man. We'll get into that. So we're gonna start with this thing, guest pitch, right? Where it's
All
basically
right,
30-second sales pitch or whatever of who you are so the fans can get right down to it. Cool?
cool. Sounds good, man.
Okay, ready and go.
All right, I'm DJ Mike Frank. Started mixing about probably say 3 years ago. Mix tech house music, hip hop, rap, pretty much a little bit of everything. But I'm pretty much open to all genres and styles. And you don't want to pick me because I do like the little things right, like show up on time and just do the job right and correctly, and always trying to work on progressing. Don't think I know everything, just trying to keep working on my style, skills, always expanding, learning from other people, whether it's like sending a mix or just asking for feedback on like the little things, always trying to progress.
Dude, that was awesome. Right around 30 seconds, man. You killed it.
Cool.
And there's definitely some things I want to talk about there. Okay, first off, I think it's important that we emphasize to people the professionalism as a DJ,
Definitely.
you know, like being on time, man. I mean, I'm sure you have DJ friends who are like notoriously late.
Yeah. No, it's just like, I think like you got to take it serious. I mean, because I think a lot of people think like it's cool, like it's like a spotlight thing. But I think like just the little things doing it right, like showing up on time, asking like after the gig, like how was it? Talk to the people at the bottle service people, like the bartenders, management. You want to know like what you're doing better and like how you can improve, or if like you could do something differently, or if they want to try something else out. I think that's important.
I definitely agree, man. I know that it's benefited me by being personable with the bar staff and definitely getting the bartender's numbers so that way they can like text and be like, "Hey, cycle the crowd," or "Hey, bring them back to the
Yeah.
bar," you know?
Right, right. No, even like if it's just like hanging out after and just like talking to like the bartenders or like the just like anyone, management, whoever it is. Because I think like it goes a long way. Just the little things you do, like because then people remember, that was a nice guy. He took his time to just talk to us after, hung out, and he didn't just split. So
Exactly. More than just a dozen.
exactly,
DJs are people too, man. We want to chop it up.
100%.
Man, I wanted to ask you, I saw that you did that it was like that bungee jumping, man. That looked awesome.
Yeah, I was my last semester of school. I was studying abroad in Greece, and like the whole coronavirus thing happened. And I'm like, well, still gonna travel if I can, and like because nothing was locked down yet for the U.S. So I traveled to Greece, did that, and then we went to went to London after that, and then I literally left a day before like the borders were closed like to everything in Europe, including like London and Ireland. So it was crazy.
Dude, that's awesome. I can only imagine how beautiful Greece is.
Oh, it's insane. It's just like the people, the food. I mean, it's like because I've never like been outside of the United States, but it's like a wild experience.
Dude, sounds like it. And you were studying over there too. How long was that semester? It was like 4 months?
No, it was two, so it
Okay.
wasn't that long, but we got to travel like pretty much every weekend. So I think I went to Rome, Venice, Florence, Bari, Italy, Amsterdam, Berlin, Barcelona, which is like my favorite because there's like clubs down there and there's DJs, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Greece, Athens, Greece, and then London. So I went a decent amount of places.
Yeah, I guess so, man. You hit them all, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So, going into, I guess let's just jump right into the music industry here because I think that's something that we could easily talk about.
definitely.
So, what like the impacts of being a DJ right now, with the pandemic and everything, what are you seeing on your end?
Right. I mean, I see a lot of people, like I have friends personally who do like live streams on Twitch like every Friday, stuff like that. And I just see like a lot of other DJs just hopping on streaming and doing things like that, which I think it's a good idea. Like they're doing something or adding value in some way. I think it's unique, but I don't know if more will stem from that, because I think the whole experience of having a DJ is like you're kind of around other people and you're in like that environment. So I don't know. It's kind of like it's a little more I don't know, it's like kind of isolated. So I don't know. It's cool, but I'm not crazy about it to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and it's not even like you can establish a fan base because anybody can just go hop in another room, and
Yeah, so it's like, nah, I know.
you can't develop it. But I did a work streaming party, which was kind of cool, and I was only going to play for an hour or two, and ended up playing for almost 5 hours because they were hitting me with requests.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, but Facebook's a hater, so I don't use Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
Just kicks you off.
I know, because yeah, I feel I was listening to some like club killers thing. They're like you have to mix like no more than like 30 seconds and you can only do like the first like intro and like first verse or else you'll get like blocked. So you have to go like fast
So,
to even get in.
sounds like
Yeah.
Vegas club music.
Yeah, bro, that's yeah, for real.
Just fast, quick mixing. But wait, do you like Mixcloud?
So right now I'm using Mixcloud and SoundCloud, but I know like SoundCloud's more like everyone friendly, I feel like, and Mixcloud's more like DJs. But I put mixes on SoundCloud before, and they get like they'll get a lot of views, and then some of them just get kicked off. So I'm like, okay, and then delete my account. So I started another account as like a backup, and I just put them on there. But like I use Mixcloud mainly, so just to have like variety of it.
I got you. Yeah, that's what I'm mainly on because my account got suspended by SoundCloud because I put too much, the mixes on there with Taylor Swift and all that jazz, and I kept getting dinged, and then they just blocked my account for like 60 days.
Ah, shoot.
And I was like, man, screw you guys. I'm not paying for this pro subscription anymore.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's good for like just putting music out there. But I even have buddies that make like mashups, like other DJs, and they're like their stuff gets blocked and kicked off too. So I'm like, it's kind of hard, but it's
Yeah.
like a gray area. I feel like.
Yeah, it is. It's like, I mean, SoundCloud before it went corporate, like 10 years ago, you could upload almost anything you wanted and nothing would ever happen. But then they got bought out. And I think we're just so heavily, like they were just influenced by the big music labels that were like, hey, you're going to knock this shit off.
Yeah, I know. I know they're trying to make their money because I know they were going downhill a little bit, but
Yeah, but Mixcloud's cool. I like how they actually pay out artists, deal with advertisements, and it
right,
seems like they use in-house costs to help, fund the vision instead of like screwing everybody over.
exactly. It's more communal. Yeah,
So I think it's pretty cool. That's what I'm focusing on. Like, I just don't know if there's a benefit to paying like to getting to being like a pro uploader, like paying that extra money. I mean, I've been doing it, but I don't know what the impact is. Like, you can go live and other stuff on Mixcloud, but I don't know if like, do you get bumped up the charts or no? It seems like if your show's not on Sirius or it's not on like a radio station, like you're not making the top charts on Mixcloud.
Exactly. Yeah. So you don't even know if it's worth it right now. But yeah, yeah, it's hard. I feel like you got to have like even like you. I look at like a Diplo mix or like someone really popular like or Tiesto's radio show. It's like I mean they get like a lot, but like I feel like just because it's Mixcloud, it's not like as much as it could be. You know,
Yeah,
just because the platform I feel like it's not as popular.
that's true. But I don't know. I think it's just I don't know if a lot of people are aware of like Mixcloud and the fact that it's free and you just listen to like they're expanding more to like podcasts and talk shows, but it's
Yeah.
still very much like DJ driven. And I just don't like people always ask me for workout mixes, and I'm like, yeah, I've got them, but just search on Mixcloud. Like you get hour mixes of like DJs playing whatever,
Right. Right.
like, and it's free.
Exactly. But the only thing is, I don't think you can, because I always try to like go back and like listen to mixes, and like they only let you like listen to it like a certain amount of times within like a time period. So that's kind of like a bummer.
Yeah, that's true. Depends on, yeah, where or what it was. Yeah, it's true. If you try to scrub back, I'm like, oh wait, what song was that?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dang it. I have to open up a browser without a login and just kind of stream it, play it by myself without an account. But yeah, man, it's definitely interesting right now. Um, but being talking about the streaming, so Lollapalooza is, they have their like their lineup dropped, and
Yeah.
it's crazy that they're gonna like figure out. I'm interested to see how they're gonna stream all that.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, it'll bring like some positivity to everything going on. So it's gonna be cool. But I mean, I'm used to going to that every year, but I'll watch it on the live stream because it's still fun.
Yeah, what was it like last year? Did you go last year?
I went for a day last year because I got kind of festivaled out for the past couple of years. I've been doing that a lot, but it's fun. It's just like you go on the Perry stage. It's just like it's like I don't know if you like to be around a lot of people. It's just crazy, like because everyone's like younger in that crowd, so it's just like people just jumping around doing mosh pits if like someone's crazy playing. But it's a lot of energy. But I mean, I have like certain guys I like to see, but I don't know. It's just a good time. You're around friends and family, so.
There's I have like a couple top uh I guess, festivals that I really want to go to. Lollapalooza is one of them, and then I want to try the Burning Man experience, but
Oh, that'd be
but
nuts. That'd
you're
be
just
nuts.
knowing that you're going to be dusty, dirty, and probably sick for like a week.
Yeah, right. You see those CDJs, they're like look like they've never been used because they're so dusty, you know?
Yeah, they're just donated.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that would just be insane. I know I've had friends that have went and they're like, it's a one-time experience. Like, if you're normal, you don't go twice, but you just do it the one time.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I went to Electric Forest in Michigan, and that was a one-time thing too
Really?
for me. It was cool. It's like camping, and there's like stages within the forests and stuff, but I don't know. It's a little out there, so because a lot of it's not like it's electronic music, but it's like subgenres of stuff. So it's just very like
Yeah,
niche, you know.
true. I've been to like an ambient festival, or there was one in Alaska. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I
And it's
describe it.
like it was weird, like, because 'cause you're same thing, like, I'm trying to fist pump and chill, but it was kind of like modern day, like, hippied out, which I'm cool with. I just don't wanna meditate and do yoga all the time, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But back to Lollapalooza, man, I don't know if you saw the lineup, but, um, Cascade's on there, Ellie Goulding, Outkast, like, Tove Lo, I really like her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and not even just because she's a very attractive woman, but I saw her perform live. She opened up for Maroon 5 back in 2016 when they were on tour.
nice.
Yeah, and super talented. Like she killed it. Was all over the stage and like warming up. There was no way that there was like 5,000 people in that arena at that time, but she was just killing it.
Yeah, she's come a long way. What's like your favorite song by her?
I mean, I like Heroes, obviously,
Oh, that's a good one.
because Alesso's on that one.
Yeah.
And then she did that song with man, what is it called? I have it on my playlist I listen to all the time, but I would say I like Heroes and the, uh the drunk one, that she talks about, like, or I'm high or whatever.
Okay.
uh, but yeah, she was great. She was like up there, like it was like a raincoat and just like beige stockings, and that was it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very promiscuous, but so I think like she's gonna put on a great performance, and I like Alabama Shakes. Uh,
Alabama
yeah,
Shakes. I don't know if I heard of them.
they're a band.
Okay.
Uh,
What
yeah,
what is it like alternative or what kind of music?
it's kind of like funk rock. They have like
Okay.
the live instruments, they have the drums, the bass, and they're from obviously Alabama, so they have that like kind of funk. Uh, Definitely kind of, I don't know, like it would be something that you would hear in like a bar that's like down the back alley or something.
Gotcha. It's got like that southern twist to it or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she is like the lead singer. She's gone solo now, which I was like interested to see them on the list, but she's like, man, she puts a lot of attitude into her vocals.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's like the one song I like is like "Don't Want to Cry No More" or something, or "I Don't Want to Fight No More." It's good, man. She's like, yeah, so it's worth checking out.
Cool. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, but let's see what else. Okay, DJing, right? So I know you've
Yeah.
got a controller, right? Is like Pioneer.
Yeah, DDJ 1000 SRT.
Okay, nice. So I was talking like a couple weeks ago with somebody about how DJing has like transitioned from the carrying crates and having roadies help you bring everything to a gig,
Your buddies, yeah.
where now it's like if you don't show up and walk inside within one or two trips by yourself carrying your gear, you're almost overdoing it.
Oh, I agree.
So, what do you think what do you think like how important it is to be as mobile as possible as a DJ?
I mean, I definitely think it opens up your opportunities for sure.
Mhm.
I think having I want to start carrying a USB on me just for the heck of it. Just that it works with like Serato and Record Box.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know a lot of places have like their own setup there. So, it kind of depends. Like if it's CDJs, you can just show up with a USB drive. But if you like your computer, you can do that. But I mean, if you're opening up for somebody, you're only playing for an hour. You don't want to be that guy who's got a computer and like then they got to swap out and you got all this hardware. So I mean, it really depends. If you're more of a mobile guy and like you're doing gigs like that, then I think I would probably say less is more. And then I mean, if you're playing at a club, if you're like the opener, then probably just a USB port. But if you're like main guy on the end, then you could probably do whatever you want. I would say laptop or USB.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm trying to transition to less honestly right now. To be Yeah, it's just to
Oh yeah,
I mean, obviously like certain mobile gigs, you're going to be more benefited to have like that library of like 10,000 songs in case somebody asks you for that obscure Bruce Springsteen track.
it's
But
true.
you're right.
Yeah, it depends where you're playing, but yeah,
But you're right, like, playing club gigs, like, I like when you go and do an hour set and you bring your thumb drive and maybe you have a planned, like, 10 to 20 tracks that you know are gonna work,
yeah,
but then maybe you see the crowd and you're like, "Well, shoot, they might like this. Let me slide," you know what I mean? So you're still organized.
exactly. No, I agree. I think it's yeah, you want to have like I think when you're going to like a new place, you want to like kind of scope it out before go there a couple nights and just listen and then have like a creative about like 100 songs that work, and then maybe creative 100 songs that are just like that you think might work there, and then 100 songs of something that just like out of the ordinary, just to mix it up. So
Yeah. That's a good plan.
yeah,
I think that, yeah, it's definitely transitioning more to less. It's funny because it went from, like, vinyl to CDs, right?
hmm
And then everybody was doing CDJs with Serato, and then, like, if you were a DJ without a laptop, you were, like, clueless.
yeah. I mean, I never played on vinyl, but I listened to like I don't know if you know DJ Conflict. He has a podcast.
Yeah.
My favorite DJ. I remember he was talking about it. He's like in 2004 or five, he switched to laptop, and he's like he had this gig where like his buddies couldn't help him carry stuff in, and like there was no parking close, so he had to like carry all his crates in, like leave his car, and just like he had to carry them one by one, and was hoping that no one was going to steal any of his stuff. The door's locked. He had to have the bouncer open it, and then when he wanted to leave, he parked like all the way on another end, so he had to carry his like crates one at a time. And he's like, after that, I just went right to
Yeah.
Serato. He's like, never
Yeah,
again.
it's so funny, but it's
So
true. It's like you make that transition, and I mean, I still have old CD booklets where I would get new songs, right? Put them on a CD, and then I would
mhm.
create a page of the track titles and number.
Well, at least you got all your. So did you like just put all like your favorite songs on one disc? You're saying?
So I would have like it would just be the book would keep building, so it'd be like CD 1 through whatever, right? But as I would get like new tracks, I would
Oh
put
wow,
them on a new CD. So, but I would always the one thing that I would update each week was my top 40. So on that top 40 CD, I would
oh
put
nice.
the chart toppers and their remixes that I knew, okay, this is gonna like that. So almost like crates, but I just knew that was the CD to go to. And then I had a CD that was for like booty shaking. but
Nice.
but it was just like looking back, like the amount of work that I had to put in each week to like reprint a piece of paper, cut it, slide it into the CD sleeve behind the CD, and then at the end of the night, hopefully I put them back in the right spots.
Jesus, yeah. Now it's just like download, drag. That's
Yep,
it.
exactly, and use your phone.
So I mean, at least you must like appreciate the technology, like because me, I've just been on the laptop the whole time, so I'm just like a little like ignorant to it, but I understand like where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, I mean, that's like when I first started was DJing CDs at like house parties, and I did a couple like bar gigs, and my mentor at the time was like, "Dude, you have to know your music. Like, if you are selecting it to push play, there better be a damn good reason." And so
Reason, yeah.
and so I knew every CD. I was like, "Okay." I could almost get to the point where I could memorize like the track numbers on the CD to be like, "Okay, well, this song's so I know 3 songs later, I've got this one," and it was like that's when you had your little flashlight over there by the CD book and you're looking.
Trying to figure the right one out. Jesus.
Yeah, then I went to Serato and no organization was just dumping tracks into everything.
Yeah, because you get that trigger hand with just it's like a candy shop with all these songs. It's like I gotta step back and be like, would I buy like if I because I have like a subscription to DJ City, and I'm like, would I pay like $2 for this track? If I didn't have it. So like I try to ask myself that before I download music, so I don't have like a huge like just bunch of stuff that's not necessary.
Yeah, that's true, man. I'm doing like a hard drive cleanup now, and it's like I think 2013 and 2014 I was just on a download spree when I had like a
Oh,
digital MP3 pool. I was like, you could upload your own stuff there. So like a bunch of DJs who just made their own mashups and stuff. I was like, all completely useless today.
yeah. It's all right. You learn, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like it's interesting, but that's how it's like all the veterans to DJing when they used to sit there and sift through records, right, at record shops. When they bought them, they knew that was the track or whatever they wanted. I don't know if you experienced this in London, but when I went there, they had like record shops, but they had turntables, and you could preview any of the records you wanted to buy.
That's like on the turntable.
Yeah.
That's sick. No, I didn't experience that, but that's awesome.
Like you could just go around the store, pick grab like 5, 6 records, and then they had like a line of Technics with headphones, and you would just be like, "Hey," and then obviously like protocol, like you treat the records with respect, but it was the coolest experience ever.
Yeah.
So you could sit there and just test them out, and you're like, "Oh man, this is gonna be dope."
Yeah, it's probably brings you back a little bit then too.
Yeah, it was cool, but I mean, I got like when I first got into DJing, I bought like turntables from somebody I was producing first.
Okay.
So I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like mixing and hoping for the best, but 99% of the time it sounded like shit.
Wait, so like producing first, did that help you out though, like DJing and all, like kind of understanding like how music is and whatnot,
Yeah.
or would you wish you would have DJ'd first then produced?
No, so producing, I got it, but it was funny. My DJ friend was teaching me like how to better arrange my music.
Hmm.
So he was the one who was like, Count to 16, like 16 or 32s." And he was like, when you're producing, if you ain't hitting me with a new element or something different at 16 beats, you're off because that's all he was like, that's all you'll hear in records.
Right.
And we used to sit there and I didn't even have this. He had the turntables and he was showing me, and he would sit there and just count 16s the whole time. And so his perspective on that helped me be better at producing. But from a producer standpoint, I knew like, how you could kind of read tracks or like understand momentum and energy.
Definitely. And I'm sure like when you're playing like a room, you just know like how like it'll make you feel like how the crowd feels, so that probably helps.
Yeah, and I'm like, I feel like kind of like and you get to know the people that work there or anyone else. Like I am DJing, and there comes a certain point in the night where like I just lose myself, and I feel like I am 1 foot on that dance floor and 1 foot behind the decks.
Oh, I hear
You
you.
know?
You just got to get like in that rhythm and that flow.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
once you hit that, you just feel like you're like on your knees, like
Yeah.
you're a champion, like it's the greatest night ever. And just like you're having as much, if not more, of a good time than the people on the floor.
Exactly. That's what it's about too. Like you gotta have fun too. Like if you're kind of up there frowning, like no one wants to be around that guy. If you're DJing, at least smile. So
Yeah, and not drunk.
yeah, that's true.
That goes into the professionalism thing, like,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you know yourself, you can have one or two. But I mean, if you know you're gonna just go off the rails, then definitely do not do that.
yeah, 1 or 2, get the edge off just to be on maybe the same vibe that the crowd's on, but
And then go from there. Yeah. Don't
yeah,
take any more.
yeah, you don't, man, because then you start making dumb decisions.
Exactly.
You know? So, it's funny, man, but I miss it, bro. I'm looking forward to the opportunity where I can play at a bar or club safely again.
Are there any like stuff open by you guys in Texas?
No, well, they all tried to do that in May or June, and then it's just spiked our numbers.
Yeah.
So they closed because that for a while there, they were expanding, like, bars could be at 25 or 50% capacity.
Gotcha.
Um, then they completely shut them down, and so a bar is anything where 51% of its revenue or, its sales is from alcohol, then it's considered a bar,
Mm,
and so they had shut all those down. So, some live restaurants, like, some restaurants that don't primarily like, they sell food as, like, over their 50% of
yeah.
sales.
Hmm.
They'll have, like, live music and stuff, but I think, like, right now it's real scarce.
Yeah. I know downtown. Like I've been trying to go downtown to some places, and like there's like a tunnel, for example. Like you can go there, but you have to like reserve a table or a bottle, or like bounce. You have to reserve like a bottle or table. So it's like if you're not going to spend a lot of money, then you can't go there. So and like a lot of places aren't. If they have like their guys already like DJs, they're not accepting like anybody new, or they just have like a really very strict rotation. But I know there's some other bars that I'm trying to hit right now that are playing, but it's a little farther out of the area for me. But I'm still trying to like wiggle my way in somewhere, see what I can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to just find a short avenue, but yeah, we got a place here, sounds like what you're talking about, that they've had, like, brunch on Sundays and, like, other things, but bottle service, they're only bottle service tables pretty much, and I'd hit them up to be like, "Hey, I see you guys are open, like, here's my press kit if you're looking for DJs," and they're like,
Yeah,
"Man, we are just not in a position to hire anybody extra right now."
right.
They're open 1 day a week.
Yeah, it's just like it's brutal. At least they're open, but I mean, yeah, it's like I was talking to someone on Instagram. I don't know. It's called Mo's Knows Best. He's like he does like media for like DJs, and he was telling me that he thinks a lot of like the nightclub scene is going to go back to like underground stuff and like less mainstream in the nightclubs. Like it'll still be there, but like even when this is all over, it's going to go more like underground to like parties. It's just like makeshift like venues and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know. Do you think that's going to happen?
I think it could,
Yeah.
because you can kinda get a sense of that with, like, the live streaming, like, people doing things from their home or featuring other local DJs. I think it would come
Right.
to those under it's no different than people having, like, a backyard party with friends, like a small gathering,
Yeah.
but I think that would be cool because you start to invite the passion for the music scene.
Exactly. You get the real people that actually want to do it. Because if you're in for like the money or something else, those guys are going to be washed out already.
Yeah, like the dudes like, I'm sorry, I'm not hating anything, but I think when clubs start having their radio DJs playing, like
Yeah.
we're losing the true craft of a DJ,
Right. I
you
agree.
know? Like why are some of the best like coolest nightclubs, they have like a radio DJ who's like their prime time Friday or Saturday, like dude, like that they're playing exactly what people already listen to on the radio.
The radio. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? It could be the following. They have different motives. I have no idea. Sometimes the management is just loopy, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
But I would love if it went underground, man, because we prior to the pandemic here in San Antonio, we had this one spot that would host like an open decks. You can get like a 20-30 minute set if you showed up and signed up. And then
That's sweet. That's sweet.
yeah,
Yeah, that's sick.
and the
That's
community
how it should
there.
be. That's how it should be.
What?
That's how it should be. Like it gives opportunity and see who's pretty good. Because I know a lot of it's like you got to be active on social media, which I get. Like it's part of the game, so you got to do that. But I think also it's important to do stuff like that as well. Mix it up, see it from both sides.
Yeah. And that's how you develop because who's going to be there? It's going to be DJs who are the biggest critics ever
Yep.
and their following, which is going to be people who are like, I mean, I've had it, and people have came up when I was about to play, and they're like, "Hey, are you gonna play some house, like some deep house?" Like, people in the crowd know exactly what they want to hear,
Yeah.
and
Especially well if it's you too. They know kind of like music you're playing. So
yeah, exactly, and see you adapt. So I love that because you can go in a situation and people have never seen you play, and you just plug in and go.
right.
You know,
It'd be a blast. Yeah. I know there's like a place by me in Rosemont that on Monday nights they do that. I mean, no one's really there, but you can go still. And there's a couple of people, but I mean, it's something decent. They allow like anyone to just go and like do it for fun. So, which I think is important.
yeah, that's kind of what we got. Like, most of the crowd is just like DJs, and I
Yeah.
would play early because I have to work the next day, so I was always signing up for like the 9 o'clock sets.
Yeah.
But
To do it early.
yeah, so I could do that and then bounce like maybe at 10:30. After I play it, I'd hang out for a little bit just to support, but, yeah, I was like and then, your critics there are audiophiles, DJs, and you're not playing to like a packed dance floor, you're just setting a groove.
Exactly. How many like hours do they do that from like 9 o'clock to like 2 a.m. or is it like what's the time frame they allow that?
Yeah, 9 till 2 AM.
Gotcha. Okay. That's a pretty decent time.
Yeah, and I know that so that would be like they were doing this thing that was like on Wednesdays, you would have to sign up like a week or 2 before, and they'd give you an hour slot,
Gotcha.
but the Friday nights they would do is like every 2 weeks. They would do the open decks, and, like, if it started at 9, if you didn't get there by 8:30 to put your name on the list, there was gonna be 10 DJs already on that list.
Oof.
Yeah, um, so you had to get there early and then just kinda hang out, like, slide in, but, yeah, it's cool that they would do that, and the owner of that bar loved he's from, like, I think Germany or something.
Oh,
That dude loved techno, EDM.
I was in a German techno nightclub. It is wild. That music, it's just different. That's the best I could say. It. Not really about it, but it's pretty wild. It's because like all the venues are just like it's like an abandoned apartment building or like some warehouse, and it's just like crazy. And it's open till like noon the next day. It's like insane.
Man, that's a long night.
Yeah, I told me.
I couldn't stay up that long, man.
No, no way.
That is cool though. I think that but you would hear some like DJs who are just like, "Hey, here's my favorite 30 songs," and you might hear those same 30 songs like every time they play,
Yeah.
but they just do it because they love that.
Right. Right.
I appreciate that passion, but so let me ask you this, what genres do you think are hot right now or the future movement of like, EDM, like what'll drive like the Beatport and like the festival attitudes, like what do you think?
I know like Fisher had his little run of the go. So Tech House I think could turn into something. I feel like a lot of songs are like it's kind of like that future house vibe, but it's more like it's mellow. It's like a less like melody to it. I feel like I don't know, like that's kind of like dance. It's like a lighter version of like future house right now. That's pretty popular in electronic music, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd like to see tech house. That'd be kind of fun to see if that went somewhere.
Dude, yeah. I mean, so I like DJing tech house because it is just groovy and you can just play that for hours, like in and out.
Ever. Yeah, definitely.
You know, mashing them up, layering the tracks, doing funky things with the rhythm.
Oh, that's like James Hype does that stuff. Like I just love like I love his like him and Laidback Luke just have that. Like they mix house tracks, but they do it like interestingly. Like they use loops. They like I think Laidback Luke can do some scratching. James Hype does a lot of stuff like the up faders and like looping things and like the cues. I just think that's pretty unique.
Yeah, those guys definitely really get the most out of their time, or they never let the vibe go.
Oh no, definitely not.
And I like Laid Back Luke. It's cool that you mentioned him because he's always like sharing his productions.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, his skills. Like I think that's the coolest thing ever. He's like, guys, do this. Like here's how I extend the amount of time they're dancing.
Yeah, and he has like those like when I was first starting off DJing, like I'm trying to look for somebody that like a professional like DJ that shows like what they're doing, like mixing wise. And he has these in my mindsets where like he labels like everything he's doing. Like if it's like mixing this, he's like, oh, the beats are off, trying to beat match, or it's like throwing looping this because of that reason, like using this fader and that like doing this and like why he's doing like it's like really creative at the same time. It just like really like helps a lot of people out too.
Yeah, it does. I've always like enjoyed it. Even when he was like when he first was blowing up, like he was showing how he produces a track from start to beginning
That's
or start
huge.
to end.
Yeah.
So he was definitely someone, I liked. I'm not so sure some of the other big dudes. I think Tiesto, I saw him in Vegas at a club.
Yeah.
Dude is like still the same way that he probably was when he first started. Like headphones on CDJs, no laptop, not pre-mixed. Like he's still holding it down, where I think, like, dudes like David Guetta and there's other ones like, Marshmello, I'm pretty sure his stuff is all pre-mixed because that dude played 60 almost 69 songs in an hour set last year's Ultra.
Well, I think all that stuff is like the big like gigs. That I feel like they have to though, just because there's so much money on the line, so they pre-record it. But I mean, I've seen Marshmallow in Vegas, and he was doing some live stuff for sure. So, but majority of the time, it's all pre-recorded for him. So it's kind of like it's cool, but it's like meh.
Yeah, and I'm not hating, I mean, that dude's like he produces great music.
Yeah.
I always just like the guys who are like, still true to, like, when they started as a backroom DJ,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, like Carl Cox,
yeah.
like, man, he's like kills the Ibiza, like, the dude is he's just so good at, like, house music.
And he's insane. And doesn't he do like 3 deck mixing too, or is it?
He does 3-deck mixing, and he does that,
Yeah.
like, looper sampler, the Tractor, I forget what it is, but it's like the Tractor sampler,
Okay.
or Pioneer sampler, but he has the remix up top,
Hmm.
and then he has this, like, sampler, this looper in the center. So he uses 3 decks, the looper, and the remixer up top,
Yeah.
and, yeah, he did, like, a video on it, of, like, how I DJ, and he's like, "Yeah, I take my loop, I run it through this, and then while I'm doing that, I prime up the next track, bring that in, then punch out." I'm like, "Dude, what?"
What the heck? Isn't his like transitions like because he does a lot of techno stuff? So isn't it like 10-minute transitions sometimes? Like I'm not too familiar with it, but I think it's pretty long. Like a lot of his stuff.
Oh. Oh, yeah, he's overlaying, like, you are getting the full songs, basically.
Yeah.
But that's why he's great, like, overseas, they love that shit when he's playing, like, Tomorrowland.
Oh yeah, because they're crazy about that over there. So
Yeah, different environment. I think that if I was DJing overseas, like, in Europe, I would have, like, a completely different following there. Like, it probably people would probably appreciate what I do.
more, yeah. I feel like electronic, like dance music in general, is not as crazy over here. I feel it's making a rise for sure, but over there it's like because I think that's where like originated like in Holland and stuff. So like people are just like
Yeah,
nuts.
and it's like I think it's that much harder not being an attractive female.
Oh, yeah, well, true.
Right, I just like you see on Instagram and you just look at like some of these DJs and I'm like, she's only been posting DJ photos for like a year or two, but she's got like
Yeah, I know.
27,000 fans.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if she can hold her own on the decks, then I mean, power to you. Then I guess.
Yeah, I dig it. I mean, shoot, I follow him and I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, what's
screw
up?
it.
What's the next release?
Right.
But this is crazy. But one female DJ I really like is Nora and Pure.
Norm. Okay.
She does more. She's like definitely very much like deep house, but it's very melodic.
Yeah.
So she plays like the pianos and like they're very kind of long. Like there's like a lot of chill periods within it. So a long
Okay.
breakdown. But she's pretty good. Like I enjoy her sets, but she does like it almost reminds me of like Carl Cox. Like she has
Ah,
long transitions and smooth, but she's also from I think like the Netherlands or something over there.
there you go. Yeah. She use like a record box or like tractor.
I think one of those probably I think Tractor.
All right. Yeah. Because I know tractor's more like less like. Well, over here I know a lot of people just use Serato like nightclub wise, but I feel like techno is more like tractor and like house music, unless like
Yeah.
open format. I used to use that, but like there's not that many controllers with tractor. And
Mhm.
like, because I wanted the DDJ 1000, which is like similar to like CDJs,
Yeah,
so
it's
I had to
sick.
make the switch.
Yeah. And you could just use USB stick with that, so you don't even need your laptop, right?
Not this one, but the XDJ, DDJ, which is like the one I want to get next, or the XDJ XZ, you can use a laptop and a USB stick because it's like a standalone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I got the Denon DJ Prime Go. I don't know if you heard of that little thing.
How's that? I've seen that one. Yeah. How's that?
Dude, it's cool because it's just all right there in the system. Um,
Is that a standalone?
it is standalone.
Standalone, nice.
And so it's pretty neat how they've packed everything into it, but it's different because your EQ knobs are not vertical, they're horizontal. And so that feels a little weird. It's a little sensitive, but man, it's fun. Like I have it here in the studio behind me, and it's just cool to like turn on. I've got a tech house, crate in there of like 40 songs,
Heck yeah.
and I'll just sit there and jam out for like 30 minutes.
Nice. That's awesome. Is it use Rekordbox or is it they have like their own software with
So yeah, they have their own software. It's what is it? Engine Prime.
gotcha. Okay.
But it's cool because you can take like so I primarily use Serato,
Hmm.
but it reads Serato crate. So what you can do is you can copy your Serato crate and import it as a playlist into
That's
Engine
perfect.
Prime. Yeah, on the US,
That's nice.
put it in the system, and you get all the cue points,
Yeah.
loop points, everything.
That's awesome then, yeah. Because I was gonna say if you couldn't do that, that'd be kind of a drag. But I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, so because I know I've experienced where I've taken tracks from Serato and brought them to like a gig and plugged them into a Pioneer, you know, whether it be CDJs or like the 2000s or something, or the controller where you could just plug in a USB stick.
Yeah.
And it did not read any of my cue points. That shit was trying to analyze your track, and
Oh yeah, I know.
damn it, man, I'm gonna have to count 16s the whole damn time.
Yeah. Have you used Record Buddy?
Uh-uh.
That's so like that like you can convert anything like to Tractor to Record Box to Serato. Like you can do it at all. It's pretty nice for your library.
Oh,
I would look into that. Yeah, it saves a lot of headaches. But I know what you're talking about. I've done that too. Where like you load it, it's got to load no cue points. You're like, well, time to count.
yeah, and you're like, well, they're about to hear this whole damn song because I know the break was somewhere around 2 minutes,
Yeah.
or loop halfway through, but
Right. Right.
yeah, it's like, well, this system's pretty cool. Like you say you don't analyze your music through Engine and
Mhm.
you just like you say you had a USB stick or borrowed it from a buddy and you're like, hey, we can play on my system as a backup. You plug it in, it's like it instantly reads the music.
Oh wow.
So like instantly you can get the waveform,
There's
everything.
no lag.
No
Yeah, that's
lag.
nice.
Yeah, so
That's beautiful.
I think Denon's like on the come up with their system right now.
I think so. Do they have like a? Because I know Layback Luke uses denims. Do they have
Yep,
like a CDJ like version?
they do.
They do, yeah. I wonder if those will make it into the clubs and like kick out the CDJs, like the Pioneer.
Yeah, I know when they had it was NAM this year in January. Uh, they were like a lot of DJs or YouTubers that I follow.
Hmm.
Like I think it's DJ Terry Cleveland or whatever.
Gotcha.
He always like reviews things, but he was out there and they were like, "Hey, do you think Denon's gonna like?" And they're like, "Well, you know, Pioneer pretty much has the market, but we can do everything they can. So if a venue opens that door, we're ready to give it."
Right. Yeah. I'd be interesting because I don't know. Denon's good, or Pioneer is good, but I mean, it'd be nice to have like a competitor that like can keep up with them.
And I think engine like I've tried Record Box and I just like the adaptation from Serato to that. I was like, man, like, but Record Box had the best analytical. I think their beat grid was almost 99% spot on.
Gotcha. So that's huge.
Yeah, whereas like you'd have to like Serato, you have to pretty much adjust the beat grid
Yeah.
because they didn't get into that till later.
Right.
So it's who knows.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. I will just adapt, but I definitely know I have to both because that those open decks and stuff, they all have like the Pioneer CDJs or Record Box, so I just have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, that's why I just stick with like Serato and like Record Box because even like other DJs like if you have to do a gig, like I just have all my music on like a USB, so I could just like pop it in the person's computer and we could like both just switch in and out, just to make it more like versatile.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
read the tracks. I mean, I generally know them. I mean, you probably know this too. Like when you're even if you have a pre-planned set, you kind of
Hmm.
have an idea of like why you chose that track.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just like trying not to bore the crowd and have like breakdown followed by 32 beat like whatever 30-second beat in, and all of a sudden you get another minute breakdown and you're like, shit.
Yeah. No, yeah, I like to have like my playlist and then just like go in the library. Like if I feel like inspired or if I can change it up, just kind of just go searching for something and throw that in. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good stuff, man. I think that what you're saying, where though the future of where it could be, like the genres and stuff, I definitely feel like that could be where it's headed to, like more like deep tech house. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It's just like, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's exciting at the same time, but we'll see.
yeah, we'll just, I guess, play what we love and then try to adapt to whatever the crowd's kind of feeling.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's usually my approach. So, um, I know that you like when I first started following you on Instagram, you were like posting your scratching updates of like, hey, learning new skills. So I wanted to talk like new things you got involved with the quarantine as a DJ.
Yeah. I mean, just working on being, developing like just consistency and like good habits and like discipline, obviously, with it, like practicing as much as I can every day, just like working on mixing. And like I just post like the point of it is like it might not be like crazy impressive, but I'm
Hmm.
working on like progression. So like when someone looks at it and look at the first video and they come and see a year later, like I have like 50 more, this guy's like progressed. So that's what I'm going to do, working on in the meantime.
Nice, man. I like it, dude. I was like watching your progress. I think that's like a really cool thing that you were like, you know what, I'm gonna get into this.
Yeah, it's like, cause I feel like I look at a lot of other like DJ accounts and I don't really see people like, at least DJs I follow, not really as much like stuff of them actually DJing, just like them at gigs and pictures. So I'm like, make it a little more interactive because like watching a video is a little more interesting than seeing a photo of you like standing on a booth, which is still cool, obviously. But like, I think having both is important. Like even when I do get more gigs, I'm gonna keep doing the videos of me just getting better because I like to work on the skill part of that, and then I'll eventually probably get into like the production side
Cool.
of things later on.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's producing, but you're mastering the craft, and I think you're right. Like if people come to your Instagram page, they should know without a doubt that you're a DJ because they
Yeah, I get. Well, I just want to be like I want to because a lot of it's like you can't really. I mean, not that I'm like into beat matching and all that. Like I can do that by ear, but I mean like now you can just look down and see it. So it's like kind of hard to be like, all right. So I want to bring something else to the table a little bit. Like a little something that takes a little more skill than that. Which like I think scratching is like another way to do that. Not that like a lot of people because if you do too much, it's obviously gets annoying. But adding a little spice to your set, I think that's one way to do it.
Definitely, especially if all of a sudden you're playing like, say, I think a perfect time for like scratching is if you're playing like a 90s part of your set or some mashup that had 90s music and you want to scratch a bit like that's when I think it would shine, you know.
Right. Yeah, 'cause I think if you're just going all over the place with every transition, people would just get annoyed with it.
You know it's
But if
coming.
it's got the right, yeah, exactly.
Like when you get those DJs who scratch into every chorus, they're doing their mix, you're like, "Oh, he's scratching and he's going to drop it in and oh, and there it is every time."
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I feel like it could get a little annoying and repetitive after a while.
Yeah.
But
Just like anything else, just like with a blend or looping something, like if you don't or you filter out, you know.
the same filter every time. I'm like, all right. Even like you're changing like the just like the just like you said, like the filters is just like important to just even if like the echo out's on like half, change it to like fourth or something. Do something
That's
different.
true, yeah. Tighten it up, so that's good, man. Good on you for picking up a new skill.
Thank you.
Um, what about like so staying fit as a DJ, you know, like are you doing home workouts and stuff right now, or what are you up to during these times?
So as soon as I got back, like everything was shut down, but I had a friend with a power rack, so I was just doing my normal workouts, like just incline bench press, weighted pull ups, just like Bulgarian split squats. Like I have a pretty structured routine. I follow like Kino Body, which is like a workout guy I do.
Mhm.
So I mean, I've been working out the whole time, and this one gym by me, they actually like registered as like a medical facility when everything was closed. So you're able to go in and like talk to like a doctor for like 2 minutes. He's like, all right, you can go work out now. So like they kind of found a loophole,
Yeah.
but all the gyms are open now. So I didn't really miss a beat on that. So it was nice.
Okay, that's what's up, man. What type of music do you like in your playlist? Is there anything specific?
Oh geez, for working out, like I have like just a bunch of like I do make a playlist that I update every Monday called That Party Playlist. That's like anything I think would be good for like partying to. But as far as workouts, I kind of rotate. I have like songs, so like a lot of it's like hip hop, rap, but then some rock will sneak in there, and then some house music. It like changes, like kind of like how I'm feeling. So
That's what's up.
yeah,
I'm like the same way. I'll just let it go on shuffle or I create like a a certain type of playlist, but I love Roddy Rich right now. He is in every playlist I got.
yeah,
That dude goes hard, man.
does
So, man, it's we're gonna roll into this next segment, which is kind of fun. It's another way that our guests, or the audience gets to know you, and it's called the lightning round segment. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say a word or a phrase, and then you respond two ways. Either red light means heck no, you're not interested. You've tried, like, no way, right? Green light is hell yeah, you're down, like all the way.
all right. Let's
Okay,
do
so
it.
we're gonna start this off right. Okay, first one, thin crust pizza.
Green.
Yeah, nice, dude. I thought you'd be like a deep dish Chicago style.
I mean, I've always had like thin crust, so I prefer more of that. So and like plus I'm not gonna want cheese; just doesn't go well with me.
Gotcha. All right, rolling with the next one, tequila.
Red. Yeah, no.
Why?
Every time get a shot in that college, I just pour it on the floor. Like, no, I don't know. It's like one of those alcohols that if you're gonna drink it, it's got to be like top shelf. Or like, I don't want it. I don't know because it's already just got a weird flavor to it. I'm just not about it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, DJ Frankie Knuckles.
Green.
Yes, nice choice. Came from Chicago.
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah. Okay, and then let's see the last one here. David Guetta.
I said red. I think red. Because I watched one of his sets at Cafe Mambo and Ibiza, and like this guy was just using the same filter over and over. I'm like, bro, you got to change it up. I don't know, it's just getting really repetitive. So
I feel that. Yeah, I'm with you. I think like song selection, like he's like I think he does a great job at like Ultra and stuff. Like he'll play "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey, other songs where you're like anthems, that you haven't heard. But yeah, I'm with you. Like it's the same stuff. So it's a good decision. All right, well, cool, man. DJ Mike Frank, it's been great having you on the show. Really appreciate you putting the time and meeting with me. It was great to kind of connect with you and chop it up with another DJ. So what I'd like to do now is just offer the floor to you. You can shout out your social media handles, things that you're doing, invite people to check you out. But the floor is yours to kind of say what you want.
Well, yeah, you can follow me at DJ Mike Frank at Instagram, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud. Releasing probably around 2 mixes a month right now, and mostly putting out one video a week. Is just me updating with my like scratching and skills.
Sweet, man. Sounds good. So, all right, everybody. This has been The Output with me, DJ Unprotected. It is a podcast presented by Aztec Nation. Be sure to check us out on YouTube by looking for The Output with DJ Unprotected. Now, I'd like to mention and recommend another podcast for you all to check out that's also presented by Aztec Nation, which is Unrestricted with Ryan Johnson. His new season, season 3, comes out this week, and he's interviewing some awesome guests, Olympic athletes, as well as coaches within the basketball league. So check them out. It's very enlightening and inspiring. All right. So, man, we appreciate having Mike on the show. This has been another great episode, especially when we feature a DJ. So I hope that you guys are all picking up what we're putting out. We got a lot to say. Tune in next week. We out.